Yeah, it's real bad over here.
Did we
Anyways,
get
that's
into
yeah, that's personal
that's what's been
life.
happening in the world of Boston marriage recently.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you guys for sharing. All right. Well, it doesn't have to this doesn't have to be super formal, but I wanted to just have you introduce yourselves because I don't know who is going to be watching this and from where. So can you all say your names and say again where you are currently in the world? Kris, you can go first. You look ready.
Okay. My name's Kris. I sing and I play guitar in Boston Marriage, and I currently live in St. Petersburg, Florida.
My name's Mel, and I need to do that again. I got distracted because it kind of seemed like Shane was coming forward to do it too, but I jumped in.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So my name's Mel. I am currently in Sebastian, Florida. And I played, okay, hold on. Oh my God, this is, what is wrong with me? Hold on.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first, and then you'll?
There's no pressure.
You go, Shane. You go, Shane.
I'm Shane O'Brien, and I play drums for Boston Marriage, and I live in Orlando, Florida.
I'm Mel, and I live in Sebastian. And oh my God, I can't do this. I don't know what's wrong with me. Hold on.
You're doing great.
Go.
I'm Mel. I play guitar and sing for Boston Marriage, and I live in Sebastian, Florida. Just use that one, but like, you know,
It just feels
wrong.
It just feels wrong to introduce myself because you guys know me. You already know.
That's okay, but this is going on to youtube.com, so anybody.
This is for the customers.
Okay.
Customers.
These are for potential Boston Marriage clients.
Okay. My name's Mel. I sing and play guitar in Boston Marriage, and I live in Sebastian, Florida currently.
Excellent. Thank you. I wanted to ask you, going back many years ago, how Mel and Kris met, because I know you started playing music together before Boston Marriage started, right?
Yeah.
But how did you first meet each other?
Mel and I, when we were children, I don't even know how old we were. Like, I think elementary school age, right, Mel? Something like that.
Yes.
We were both in the same youth group at church, and we became friends because we both loved the Jonas Brothers.
That's very true.
And yeah.
Were you both playing music at the time?
No, but I'm pretty sure we both started learning how to play music together.
Yeah, we both wanted to learn how to play music, so we were both really interested in it. We both had a passion for it, even though all we could do was sing at that point. But yeah, I do remember one time going over to your house and we were like reading, like, I don't know, it might have been How to Play Guitar for Dummies together.
Yes. Yeah, we definitely used to like take songs and like change the lyrics to be our own songs and then sing them together, like before we actually knew how to play music. So that like passion was always there even before we knew what we were doing.
Yeah. So you were, so were you singing at church at that time? Or you said all you could do was sing, so you were doing some form of music.
Yeah, but go
ahead. Sorry, just gonna say, like, I think it was just more for fun. We just like to like sing together. I don't know, like along to music, not in church because I think there was some stage fright issues and also not wanting to.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What types of lyrics would you be replacing, like, say, Jonas Brothers lyrics with?
Actually, I can remember a specific one that we did, which was Miley Cyrus. The original song is called Seven Things I Hate About You.
That's the one
And
I
we
was thinking
changed
of too.
Yeah, we changed it to The Seven Things I Love About Joe, aka Joe Jonas. So.
Oh, okay. So you were replacing other songs and making them
Yeah.
about the Jonas Brothers.
Right, yeah. We didn't want to change the Jonas Brothers songs because they're like perfect. So it's like,
Of course.
Yeah.
Did you, and then what was the first like project that you had together that was like an official, you were like trying to be a band or a project of some kind?
We had one kind of project before Boston Marriage. We only ever played one show. So I kind of consider Boston Marriage our first official attempt because that kind of grew from this original project.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that one was called Clavy, and it was different members. It wasn't Shane or Lisa or Kaylee. It was kids that we knew from high school. And we played at a mini golf place, right? Is that right, Mel?
This is
I think
true.
that was our only show.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I think that you may specifically be familiar with the Safari Mini Golf. That's the establishment.
It's
I think
funny.
there's
I
still a
don't.
fund somewhere. There's money from this band, like in Mel's car, I think. Still,
Really?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Clavy Fund, I think it was stolen.
I
By, like-
have nothing. To
Yeah, I
do
was gonna
with
say we have a suspect already.
it. I know where it was. I don't know where it is anymore.
Where were you?
that makes it sound even more suspicious.
Princess. But yeah,
No comment.
that was very short-lived. It definitely was the foundation that we turned into Boston Marriage.
Mm-hmm. I have a funny story. April and I were talking earlier about just this interview, and we both had remembered that project, and I searched it to try to see if I could find anything from it, which I didn't. But what I did find is another band with the same name, but they're like 10-year-old kids from Germany, and they're really sick.
Holy shit.
It was
Like, yeah.
So I'm glad that you guys changed your name and allowed them to exist in
Me
the
too.
world.
Yeah. I'm sure they're better than we were. We were
So,
Clavy for sure.
I'll send you the link, or just
Please
search your
do.
old band name, and then you can they're like experimental, like industrial, like metal, and they're like,
But they're 10.
the oldest one is 10 from what I could
Oh
see.
my
There's
God.
like a video. You'll just have to watch. It's real. I was pleasantly
Link in the
surprised.
description. Click
Yeah,
below.
exactly.
Right here.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
It's gonna be right here, kids.
Um,
In the sidebar. You guys remember that?
Oh,
Yeah.
classic.
I don't know. This is my first time on a computer.
You're doing great.
Thank you. And then I remember I had met Melissa, I don't know when, like 2013 probably, at our old high school. And I knew that you were playing music at the time. And then several years later, when I had project space, like we were just starting, I reached out to Mel and asked her if she wanted to play. And then you guys played that show as Boston Marriage. Was that one of the first, because it was just you two, was that one of the first shows under that new name?
That was the
Yeah,
first.
that was the first one.
Very
That's
first,
what
yeah.
I was wondering. I was wondering if I could claim that as booking the first Boston Marriage show ever.
Yeah.
Because that was I looked it up, July 29th, 2016.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was a very interesting show. I remember I played myself, and I think that was like one of the last times that I ever played music just by myself, because I was like, I don't want to be perceived any longer.
Yeah.
I wish to have no attention put on me, but I'm glad that it could have happened and to have you guys be on it. But that were any of the original Boston Marriage songs, had you played them in your previous band, or like did you carry anything over?
We might have carried a couple over, but we stopped pretty much anything from the previous band. Didn't make it to like our official roster, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice.
Back then,
So maybe
we were
for
still
that.
really good.
Sorry, I was just gonna say maybe for that first show, first or second, we might have played a couple of the songs from our previous incarnation.
And then how long after that did Shane join and Lisa join, and how what was that process of like building up a full band?
I could I could be wrong on the timeline, but I think that Lisa was already in the band when we played the first show, but we just decided to play without her. But I think I think that's just because she had just joined.
Yep.
Like, so we had like one jam session together or something. Yeah.
Because the first show was like in October. So if that first
Full
or like the
band,
show
yeah.
with me was like pretty much like Halloween, I believe. So sometime in between, I guess you said July was that first performance.
Yeah, the very end of July was that first one. So July, August, September, like with somewhere within the next 3 months.
Yeah. So how I got involved was because Lisa, my girlfriend, was playing with Boston Marriage already, and they had a couple shows booked. One at Project Space, and there was really no drummer. The person they were talking to at the time lived in a different state. Just wasn't really going to work out, you know. So then originally I was just going to fill in for the 2 shows just because, you know, they had it booked, and just wanted to help out, and the rest is history. I just remember hearing the song Gowns, a demo of it, for the first time because Lisa was trying to like write a bass part or try to like learn it. So I was like, here, let me like check it out, like see if I can help out. And then I just remember hearing it and just being like totally blown away. And because it's usually, from my experience, that everyone's first band like sucks. Like my first band was horrible, you know. Everyone's, so, you know, to like hear, you know, them, and this is like their first real band, I was like, holy shit, this is like amazing, and I want to be involved. So then I was like, if you guys need help with drums, like I have a drum set. I never played drums in a band before, but always wanted to, so it kind of worked out in a good way.
Nice. And then how did you immediately start writing songs for Personal Space, or did you already have all those songs and you just kind of started adding drums to them, or what was that writing process like?
They already had like the vocals and guitar. I would say most of that was already there. So pretty much when I got involved was just trying to add drums to what was already there. And a lot of times Mel would have already like an idea, you know, for like our one song Broken Down Boats, like she already had the idea of how she thought it should go. So between like that, we just kind of filled in the space and pretty much added to what we thought would complement the vocals and guitar that was already written.
Nice.
So Mel's the real, she wrote all the drums. I just performed them.
I remember after you recorded Personal Space, I think one of you sent it to me before it was released, I think. But I remember I was working on a film in New York, and I was like working in like this warehouse, and I had to go buy a printer to print a bunch of stuff for the film. And it was like on the way, like driving to Staples, that I was like playing the songs off of like through a text or whatever. But I didn't really know what to expect because I had obviously seen you at that first show, and I knew you, but I didn't know like what the full band production was going to sound like. But I remember like I like drove the long way to Staples and back so I could like listen to all the songs. But it like, I don't know, I think I had the same reaction as what Shane was saying, even with the demo of Gowns, where I was like, wow, like it sounds so full and realized and like professional, but like not in a way that was like over polished or anything. But I just remember listening to that and like being very excited for the release and like being very impressed by the quality of not only the songwriting but the recording itself. So I wanted to share that anecdote because I feel like there's been a couple like other just random music that I've heard in that context, and I feel like, I don't know, for some reason, like listening to music for the first time in the car, like you can always like remember back to like where you were or where you were driving to. So I
Staples.
have that distinct memory of like the first time I ever heard those songs.
There's if you look at a
Love
chart
that.
of your brain activity, there's like Staples and Boston Marriage.
Exactly.
It's like somehow correlated. So like
Kind of
maybe
is.
every time you go to Staples, you're like, you should
Mhm.
listen to Boston Marriage.
You guys got to get on the official Staples playlist.
I went to Staples, you know, it's a like sad and lonely place, honestly. Like the vibe in there
Perfect.
is just like, actually you're right.
Isn't that where Kaylee
Perfect.
works?
What's that?
No,
Doesn't
Kaylee works at
Kaylee
Home
work there?
Depot, I think.
Oh,
I think she works at
Really?
Home,
Oh.
or it could be Staples. Kaylee's a mystery, and I like to keep it that way. I don't want to know too
Yeah.
much.
you guys haven't met her. You've never spoken.
We met her, but we don't really know her.
Nice.
The mystery.
Do you have like, how do you guys feel about the songs on Personal Space now?
I would love to like re-record all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much how I feel. But I remember like at the time that we first recorded them, it was like just really amazing to hear like the fully realized version of stuff I've only been hearing in my head or, you know, at practice or whatever. So I do think it's good and it holds a special place in my heart. But yeah, if I could re-record all of them and just make them that much better, I definitely would.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think we all feel that way. And even recording it was kind of like almost a nightmare in a sense, because we had a friend who was helping out, and just every time I've had this, a friend is helping out, the bro deal, it like always goes down south. Like, honestly, that it's like at this point, just I'll pay full price. We don't have to be like buddy.
Yeah.
But we were driving a couple hours down south, and just like almost by Miami. So from like Vero to Miami, like just, I mean, I must have gone down like 10 times. And it was just, you know, we were having it tracked somewhere, then sent off to get mixed and mastered somewhere else. So there was just a lot of hands involved. And, you know, if we could go back, you know, maybe there could have been a different approach. But, you know, it was we're all new to it. It's you know, first time recording drums. So I think that's probably why now we feel like maybe if we went back and redid some of the stuff that, you know, we've grown so much since then that, I mean, we've played hundreds of shows since then. So I think that, you know, the band has grew since then. So it'd be interesting to see what we could produce now using like those same like songs and kind of breathe some new light and life into them.
Kris, did you have any thoughts, or you agree?
I agree. The only thing to add, I think, is like Mel said, those songs all like hold a special place in my heart. But when we first recorded, it was kind of like, let's record the first 4 songs we finish, so we have music online. And I think after those came out is when we really figured out like what we wanted to sound like as a band. So I think it would definitely benefit from us re-recording them now that we kind of know what we're doing and know what we want to sound like. I mostly would love to re-record Gowns, and I really hope we can.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What specifically did you decide to change when it came to your sound or your songwriting process after that first EP?
I think a lot of the songs off that are a lot grungier, I think, than what we sound like now, and I feel like it fits better. I think just overall, like, we've learned how to write a better song. Like Rachel in the Dark Room, I love that song, but it's 5 minutes long, I think, and there's like 2 verses. Like, I think we know how to write a song that's easier to listen to, I think, and we get song structure better. So revisiting that, I think we could make something just that is better, that can be more proud of in the current day. We were also a lot younger then, you know. It was the first time me and Mel ever recorded anything. So we've grown a lot since then, for sure.
So those are things that you've like applied to your newer songs, is just like song structure and production have changed. Was the obviously the recording process was different the second time around, but was the way that the songs were actually written, did that change as well? Or was it still like sort of you guys coming up with ideas and then bringing them to the full band? Or how did that go for the songs after Personal Space?
After Personal Space, they kind of still start off the same way, with either like me or Mel coming to everyone with a melody, or something I really like about Boston Marriage is everybody in the band, like everyone's first instrument is guitar. So like Shane will come with a guitar part and then we'll work off of that. But what changed specifically was the first time we kind of had everything done and we went in the studio and just recorded exactly what we had and finished it as fast as possible. Where the second go around, we had a lot more time in the studio to kind of sit there and come up with stuff all together in that room. And I think that helped us be a lot more creative. So there's a lot for those songs that came after that we wrote as we recorded them.
Nice.
As opposed to Personal Space.
Personal Space, the recording process, it's like we basically already had everything mapped out. Like nothing was really changing for the way the music went. So yeah, it's a little, we're trying to just add more things at this point. Every time we go into the studio, it's never going to be like the exact idea that we went in with.
Yeah. Have there been certain things that, like certain ideas you've had that have surprised you, or that you like you've been in the studio and you've come up with something and that you really felt like, oh, we would have never maybe come up with this under different circumstances or in a different context?
I think with the newer stuff that we did after Personal Space, I would say there was more things that we would try out, because sometimes when you're, paying for studio time by the hour or, by the day, you don't really have time to work on different tones or try out ideas. So I think that gave us more opportunity to just try something. Let me just try this guitar riff. I remember in the song Idols that we recently put out, Mel wrote one of my favorite parts, like right there on the spot. It's like a lead at the end. That's like, if we were doing that hourly, we wouldn't just spend a couple hours like, all right, let's write this part. Let's get the right tone. Let's mix it in. So I think having that, it's like less pressure. It's a different kind of pressure. I wouldn't say it's less, but I think it's more exciting, and it's a little more risky, but I think you got to dare to suck sometimes and don't be afraid to try something, because it could end up really awesome.
Yeah.
Like in our song Know You, where we use like a toy microphone. That's like, we would have never gone into the studio like, all right, now here's the time I'm going to use the toy microphone. That was just like, it was in the room, we tried it, sounded awesome, let's go with it, track it. And so I think that like has changed a lot.
Yeah. Were there any particular artists that you were drawing inspiration from production wise or tone wise when you were making the newer songs that you wanted to emulate, or did all of the new sounds sort of come out of just experimentation and being in the moment?
I think we were working with a producer this time, so that kind of changed versus just us going to a friend to record and sending it off. Now we're working with an actual producer who has input, and they worked with bands like Paris and All Time Low and a couple other bands. So I feel like their spin on it, you can tell there is a difference in some of their ideas versus when it was just us and going into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that definitely had some influence on the overall tone and vibe of the newer stuff.
Yeah.
You can tell it's a little more like polished sounding. It was sent to like a pop masterer, if that's what their official title is.
Yeah.
So just overall, it changed from like more indie to more of a like a pop structure.
Yeah, and like I remember like pretty much every day that we were in the studio recording our, you know, for our next session after Personal Space, we would go get some like coffee or tea or whatever, and then go into the studio and just like pull up Spotify, and like just like everyone would be like, oh, let's listen to this, like, or like, you know, this is like this artist just put this out, like we need to listen to this new thing. So we were just like kind of listening to new music and like hearing different like contemporary production styles and stuff like every day. So I think that also contributed perhaps.
What about lyrics? Were you writing lyrics in the studio as well, or were those all written beforehand or maybe after the fact, or how did that go?
We were writing lyrics in the studio. We had a lot, like I remember for like No You Were, Kris had a lot. Kris wrote most of those lyrics, if not like basically all of them. She had like a lot written and ready, but I don't think, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we had the chorus of that song. Yeah. So that we wrote the chorus like in the studio, which we just like, I was like, oh, why don't we take the guitar part that Shane wrote, that's so cool, and then like sing that for the chorus. So yeah, there was definitely lots of stuff like that where we are like writing in the studio, and then yeah, I remember I was just trying to fit words to the tune, because I was like, oh, this tune's gonna be cool, but like what should go here? So yeah, we did some on the fly lyric stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, because you both write lyrics, what are some of your favorite lyrics that the other person has written? Certain lines.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All of them. I love, so Mel wrote Man Who Wasn't There. She wrote all of those. I love the line, the living in my house alone, your empty soul, concrete windows. Love that line. It's really pretty. It's one of my favorites.
Thanks.
My upstairs neighbor is vacuuming, so sorry if that's loud.
So you understand. You get it.
The neighbor.
It's outrageous, but anyways, continue.
I feel like I can hear them vacuum. I can hear the dust going through the vacuum.
I think that my favorite I like the Know You Were and Idols are both like my favorites that Kris has written. Like specifically, I love the chorus of Idols. To Death to My Idols. That's my.
I haven't played these songs in a year. Listen, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And so listen to the song.
We all know this song.
Yeah. And then and like the verses on Know You Were are also like really some of my favorites. I'm just like I'm often blown away by Kris's lyricism and like the tones and themes that she's able to set, and like her vocabulary, and she's just an amazing lyricist. I come in here and I'm like, I know you were, I know I was.
You mean the name of the song? It's pretty important. No, I do. I think. Oh, God. I was gonna say, just Mel and I write really differently, which I really like. Like Mel is so good at I feel like just like writing a song. It takes me so long to write a song, but I really envy that Mel kind of, I don't know. I feel like she writes songs a lot more naturally than I do. So I really love Mel's lyricism too. And I think what makes Boston Marriage special is our different writing styles and how they come together specifically.
Mel, do you remember what the inspiration for the "Living in My House Alone" line, like what that was about, or what you were trying to get across with that?
That's basically just living in my house alone. Your empty soul, concrete windows. I guess it's kind of like, even though you're living in a house with other people, sometimes it feels like you're just alone, actually, and you just feel like your home is a prison. So yeah, I guess that's sort of where some of that came from. So that's relatable in these pandemic times.
Definitely. Can you point to specific lyrics that you've written yourself that you're really proud of, or you thought turned out like very much like the way that you was able to establish like the feeling that you were going for each of you?
Yeah,
or
for
Shane
me,
too. I don't know if Shane, you bring lyrics.
No.
Okay. I didn't want to assume, but
I don't think I wrote any lyrics. No.
That's okay. Kris, go ahead.
I feel like for me, well, Boston Marriage as a whole, since we started, I think the biggest theme for both of us in writing is mental illness and bringing that conversation to the front and making it something that we can talk about, because that's hard sometimes. And I feel like in most of my writing, I try to capture that in some way. And I think Idols is the time I was able to finally say what I have really been trying to say. Which is that I guess for me, a lot of times, like, ultra positivity doesn't help. Like, people, like, it does help some people, but like things will get better or it'll get easier really doesn't help me at all. So I finally, I think, found a way to say that like everything is really hard, and kind of sometimes you just have to coast, and sometimes the only conclusion you can come to isn't the solution to your problems, but just convincing yourself that holding on a little bit longer, maybe tomorrow's the day you'll figure it out, which is pretty much the way that I look at my own mental illness. So yeah, I'm really proud of Idols. I think that's my best writing to date, and I worked really hard on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great song. I don't know my answer. I was trying to think about it. I don't know. I like I do really like the lyrics in Man Who Wasn't There. I think that like came I think that song comes across well. It can sort of relate to like a bunch of different scenarios, and just feeling like pure shite, you know, mostly in different ways. So yeah, I think that might be my personal favorite that like I wrote. But yeah, writing songs is hard.
It is. I love that song though. Like you said, I think it can apply to a lot of situations, but what you did so amazing with the lyrics of that is, even though it can apply to different things, like you established the tone and like the feelings that you were feeling, and that's why it's so relatable. I love that song. And I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
What are some of the things that, because you were playing a lot before you couldn't play.
True.
Are there specific aspects of playing shows that you miss, or is it just the overall experience of being at shows and being able to perform? Are there like little moments about playing shows that you're sort of nostalgic for at this point?
I miss riding in the car with my friends to shows. Like I miss stopping at Taco Bell and just like listening to like stupid songs and just like, I mean, I think we all feel this way, but quarantine is very lonely. And my favorite part of being in a band is...
Oh no, it cut. No, it was like right at the moment. It's like my favorite part about being in a band cut.
I'll get it back. What do we need to do? Oh
no.
There you are.
Hi, I'm back.
All right, Kris, what's your favorite part about being in a band? We missed it.
Sorry. Just going to shows with people, with you guys, and hanging out, and just because it's lonely in quarantine, so I just miss hanging out.
True, I feel that.
Yeah, I've been missing like traveling too, with you guys, and also like playing music really loud with my friends and feeling it in my bones. That's what I miss that too.
True. I miss also seeing, we meet a lot of people from all over the place, and when we're playing shows, we get to see people, we only see every so often. So it's like if we're playing Jacksonville, we'll see friends from there, or we're playing Gainesville. So it's also nice to, see people that we don't get to talk to that often, but and just like random stupid shit, like, hanging out, not even just the show performing, but I think just like the whole concept of shows is like crazy. Like we'll drive like 6 hours to play like 20 minutes, so it's just like there's so much that goes into it that you can't really like pin it on one thing, I think.
Yeah, like I feel like to a lot of people that would sound maybe
horrible,
ridiculous, or they wouldn't understand
did I mention
it, but
not get paid too?
Right. But it is more of it like an all-encompassing experience. It's not, it's not like the performing is the only reason to do it. So that's why I was wondering, because I feel like there is such like an atmosphere and a culture around not only touring, but even just playing local shows. Like it's something that you look forward to and you get excited for, and then like on the day, like there's so much that leads up to it, preparing for it, and then you get there and you're seeing people. So although performing is fun and sort of the reason for you being there, it's not necessarily like the only enjoyable thing.
Yeah, and I think also with that, it's all right, I lost my train of thought here, but that, I feel super lucky anyways, because so many people don't get the opportunity to do that. And there's people who play music their whole life and never played a show. You could be the greatest drummer in the world and never played outside of your house. So for us to be doing as much as we did is, really awesome. And I think also another part that I miss is just supporting other bands, because there's so many other people doing the same thing as us that have the same struggles. So it's really awesome to kind of be part of a scene where you get to see other people and other bands and just, be there for them too. So it's very rewarding in that sense, I think. And you get to see a bunch of bands for free.
True. Are there any specific shows that you have played at any time or recently that like stand out as being very fun, or they were just like a very special experience for any reason?
The last show we played was like in March, I think. The band Worst Party Ever just signed with No Sleep Records, and they asked us to play their EP release show, which was really awesome. And it was in a tiny like cafe. Like, I don't even know if the cafe was like open. So it really had like that DIY feel, almost like how Project Space had. It wasn't just like a bar that you're playing at. It's like just like a room, and it was completely packed. Like, there was some crazy chaos at first during our set, but like once it got started and everything, it was really fun and super packed, and everyone was just there to support Worst Party Ever. So there's just like, it felt like a lot of love, and a lot of people didn't know us. So it's cool when you get to play a show like that, and for them to ask us to play is really awesome. So I thought that one, and it was our last show before everything kind of went under.
Yeah.
The world went under.
Yeah, that one was really, really fun. I enjoyed that one. Another super fun one was Fest. That it was just really fun to be at Fest. I've never been before. It was my first time. Same. And I got to play. So it was really, really fun. Yeah, it was, because you're there for the whole weekend. So it's even better than just playing one show and then going back home or whatever. On somewhere else. So yeah.
That was always like a benchmark too. Like, I always wanted to play Fest for like, I don't know, like ever, like 60 years. So it was really awesome that we got to do it and just to be there. So it was like kind of like a bucket list type of show. And they also like gave us like free food and stuff. There was a lot of, and like the free like pass. So it was very fun. I had a great time.
Nice.
I remember feeding like Mel nachos or something in the one person hot tub. And Mel was the one person in the hot tub, and I was feeding her.
That's true.
Because when you're in the hot tub, you can't, what are you gonna use your hot tub hands to eat? No.
Of course not. That's why you have a Shane.
I did the only thing that I felt was reasonable.
Bring me my claw and my chips.
Yep. I did it all.
Kris, you have another show or something to add to those experiences?
No, I agree. Those are probably the two more recent ones that stick out. We've played a lot of shows, like all around.
Yes, FemFest was like a really good one too.
FemFest was really fun. But yeah, I would say Fest as well. It was really exciting to play and get to be there, and I'm really grateful we got to play that. Missing Fest this past year was really sad. Like when that was supposed to be happening, just kind of really sets in like how different things are now. So hopefully soon things can, I mean, they're not going to go back to normal, but hopefully we establish a new normal
Mm-hmm.
in the upcoming year and can start doing things again.
Right. What has been your guys' experience like communicating and collaborating with each other over the past year? Have you been able to do any writing or sort of, I don't know, have you all been in the same room in the past year?
No,
No.
we haven't been together, and we haven't really been writing
Mm-hmm.
together either.
We've been
it's
using
like really
Discord.
hard.
Yeah, we use Discord, and the newest song we put out, Purity, we had like the stems already tracked before lockdown happened. So I don't even know. We weren't really going to plan on release it anytime soon, but we already had it already tracked. So we were able to kind of like communicate via like Discord and kind of make mix notes and kind of work that way.
Mm-hmm.
But since we haven't been able to be all together, it has made things harder, for sure.
Yeah. In that time where you haven't been writing as much, have you all been listening to a lot of music? Would you say more than usual, or just sort of casually throughout the day?
I like stopped listening to music like a couple years ago, but now I'm back into it. So
You're
that's
back
where I am.
on the
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yep. So
what are some things that you guys listen to, like specifically, I guess, like during 2020, although that's not that long ago now, but like
Feels like just yesterday.
Whether it could be stuff that came out in the past year or stuff that you were revisiting from years ago, but like what are some of your favorite things that you've just been listening to over the past year?
I haven't been really listening to anything new. I've been listening to like my favorites, I guess, for like comfort. But I listened to Keep You by Pianos Become the Chief, all the time. It's my favorite album. I really like the band Holy Fawn. Listen to that a lot.
That out Personal Space. They love it.
Personal Space. Yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah. I haven't been listening. I can't think of anything new that I've been listening to. But yeah, I've just been like basically putting on my classic playlists of like, I don't know, Grizzly Bear, which I think that you, Jared, you do think Grizzly Bear is dad rock. I don't know. It's definitely not, but
I remember this conversation, and I feel like I saw this in our texts or Facebook messages recently. I think I had just never listened to them, and I still haven't listened. And you were like, listen to them this week, and that was like 2015. So
one day,
getting around to it, there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
it's true.
I started listening to the band Loathe, which is like a really heavy band. Actually, Kaylee showed me them on the way to it was either on the way to our last show or like the way back home or something, the Worst Party Ever one. And I just remember being like blown away. And they're like kind of like Deftones, kind of heavy, kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I don't know, I just thought it was really awesome. And I'm not really into like heavy music, or haven't been in a long time. So it's like pretty interesting to kind of get back into it. And I've like missed so much. But besides that, during quarantine, I mean, as everyone knows, I've been spiraling in my life. So I was listening to like a lot of like early 90s, early 2000s, like Sugar Ray, like pop music. And just like every day, like a routine, I would just wake up, watch like music videos of like Sugar Ray, 311, like Notorious B.I.G., like all these, like I would just watch like the same thing every day. So it just felt like being stuck in a simulation and just repeating the same day. Just like watching The Office, just listening to the same songs. And
did you get Peacock then? Were you forced?
We had Peacock now, but yeah, we got all the streaming stuff now. We're good.
I know, because I'm on y'all's Hulu. Thank you.
Oh yes, Melanor. I'll just go into the account and start watching something ridiculous. Be like, Mel, why are you watching this?
Have you guys found yourself watching things more than listening to music, or is that something that is like a hobby, watching films or TV shows?
I've been watching a shit ton of YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
I am like all over YouTube. I love like hour-long video essays, like explaining Beanie Babies, like the history of Webkins, shit like that. That's what I'm really into. Defunct Land, Jenny Nicholson. I also love baking, how to cook that. So yeah, that's what I've been. I'm obsessed with YouTube videos. Also watching Lord of the Rings. I've gotten through the first two. Now I have the third one, which I think is called Return of the King. And then I have the Hobbit movies to watch. So that's
nice.
I've been trying to watch movies that I've always been like, why haven't I watched that? You know, like Shawshank Redemption. That's a great movie. Let's watch that too. It's good stuff. So that's me.
Nice.
It's good. I'm the opposite of that. I feel like my brain cannot handle things that are longer than a minute. So I just like sit on TikTok all day, just like scrolling. But other than that, I've gotten really into D&D over quarantine. So Critical Role.
Of course. How could I forget?
Spoiler alert, we all play D&D together. But
Boston Morge is less of a band and more of like a campaign.
It's true.
These days.
But I've been into Critical Role, which is a YouTube, or well, it's a Twitch stream, but they have it on YouTube of a bunch of voice actors who play D&D together. So that's what I spend most of my time doing.
Interesting.
Started watching Flight of the Conchords, and it's really, really good on HBO Max. It's kind of like music, but I think
I've been
also
watching
like
that too, actually.
it's so funny. It's really like, I don't know. The songwriting for it too is like incredible. So there's so many layers of the show that I like. But I think listening to like new music, I almost try to avoid it because like I don't want to subconsciously like write something that's like similar. I'd rather listen to nothing and just write something that feels original to me. Because if I'm like trying to write like in a specific genre, I might like accidentally, that riff is actually something else. So I feel like I'd rather just like separate myself from everything and just write and kind of go from there.
Wow.
Which
Shane
might
can't
be
listen
weird.
to music anymore, except for like 90s to 2000s music that he knows he'll remember. You'd never accidentally write one of those songs.
Right. I'm not gonna just like be like, here's this Backstreet Boys song that I wrote. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Life has been unpredictable.
Yeah.
That's true.
How do you guys feel about like the idea of writing songs about this quarantine time? Have you been writing lyrics like about this present experience, or do you have any thoughts about that?
I haven't written any songs about quarantine, but you know what? That did remind me that Ben Gibbard came out with a song called Life in Quarantine. And I thought that was really good. Like I'm definitely down for music about quarantine and what we're going through, but I do hate to see it in like TV shows and stuff.
It can be corny.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's like bands who wrote, actually there is, I'm not going to name any bands, but they wrote a quarantine song, Stay at Home, and like the singer like also like flew out to like, you know, all these places and was like traveling, and like the band got canceled, but it's like they legit put out a song called Stay at Home where the lyrics were don't leave your house, and like the singer was like full on like Instagram videos like at parties and stuff. So it's so weird to see how people's opinions have changed in a short amount of time.
Right. I wouldn't necessarily expect you guys to write like a PSA style like stay
I'll
at
write
home
something.
song.
Hold on, wait, I got it.
Okay.
Quarantine. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I think you're onto something.
Quarantine.
Sounds like you love quarantine. I don't think I should.
Actually, I wish we were back like in the like Tiger King era of quarantine, like where it's like you're just at home and you're like, you know, it was like I don't know, I was watching TV. It was cool.
Yeah.
But mostly quarantine has been like, I feel like we should be back there is kind of what I'm getting at, is like we shouldn't be how we are.
Wait,
We
so
should
you're
be
saying
like-
we should all watch Tiger King again?
We all need to be locked down watching Tiger King. And like people need to stop going to the clubs, and there's bands playing shows still. Like all these things are Florida and during this has been just a wild ride, and just rules don't apply here. And there's so many people that are just don't give a fuck, to put it lightly.
Yeah. I work in food service right now, and I have to be the one to like enforce old men to like tell them they have to wear a mask to be inside the restaurant. And people get so angry. Like we haven't been doing this for a year.
Oh, people like cough on each other. You know, it's like people are like horrible about it.
Yeah.
Like,
People yelling at me. What's wrong with you? Like I just work here, man. I don't know.
I just saw today like a headline that was like CDC like mandates mask wearing. Oh, something happened upstairs. Sorry.
Oh, I think his bowling ball rack just fell.
It was like the headline was like CDC mandates masks on like all public transit, like airplanes, buses, trains, and it's like seems like this would have been a thing that happened a lot sooner than this.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, by the way,
game.
like you should wear a mask on a plane. Like, oh, I did not realize people weren't doing that.
Yeah.
Makes me feel really good about how long this is going to last. But no lyrics specifically about this
quarantine.
Other than Shane.
That one lyric, yeah.
Shane's working on something.
You really put me on blast saying that I didn't write any lyrics. So I'm working on. I'm trying to be a changed man.
He has lyrics, 2 of them, quarantine and yeah.
Nice.
But I mean, I don't think we would write a song specifically about it, but I mean, I haven't written anything specifically, but in my like little notes, I think like what we were talking about with Man Who Wasn't There, writing about the feelings that we're having during this time. Maybe they can apply to things outside of quarantine, but I think that's definitely whatever we write next, we'll have to deal with that, because I mean, this is all of our lives now, and we write about the things that we're going through. So whether or not it's specifically, you know, quarantine,
you know what?
not.
Say what you will, but it's like everyone. It's short and effective. Like
No, it's
people are
stuck
talking
in my
about
head.
it. Yeah,
It's
people are
stuck
talking
in my
about
head,
it.
dude.
Yeah, it's pretty good if you ask me. I thought I nailed it.
I was asking April earlier about questions that she had, and she came up with a couple more like quick answers, or maybe not quick answers, but the first one is, if Boston marriage as a whole was an astrological sign, what would it be?
Virgo.
I was thinking Gemini.
Gemini's good.
I think we already like established that. Isn't Boston marriage like
Scorpio?
a Scorpio? Is that like October?
Technically, because of our anniversary,
Yes.
we would be Scorpio.
Yeah.
But I don't
The Virgo
agree.
is just.
I don't think
yeah.
Scorpio, I don't know. I don't think we are Scorpio.
No.
Maybe
I like the
Cancer.
idea of Gemini, how we're
Yeah.
like two. We have two sides.
Mm.
Our serious rocker side and our nerd side.
Yeah.
So
I like
Gemini.
that. Gemini, yeah, I can feel that.
I don't
Nice.
know much about astrological
I mean,
signs either.
who would want to be a Scorpio anyways? Am I right? Audience at home.
Hot takes
comment.
on the Zoom call.
Do people wish
Actually-
they were other signs?
I don't know. I
Man,
actually
I
don't
wish I
even
was a
know.
Scorpio.
No, I actually don't know what a Scorpio, anything about it. I'm just trying to make jokes. You got to make them. They're not always good.
I feel like Gemini is a good answer. It seems I also am no expert, but I feel like it's not often that someone who offers their sign is a Gemini. So I don't hear about as many people who are Geminis. So
I think in the future that
I don't know.
before we play a show with another band, like we need to know their sign and make sure,
To
we're,
make sure we're
compatible.
compatible.
I don't want to play shows with anyone that we're not compatible when shows happen again. So
Right. Who would be on the do not play list for a Gemini band?
we haven't got there yet, but we will. We will. Don't worry. I'll come back.
If you're a Taurus, fuck you. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I don't even know what that. When I was saying it, I was questioning if that was even a sign.
A Taurus, or
Yeah.
not like a Disney like tourist, like a
If you're a
Taurus.
tourist, if you're a tortoise,
Yeah, we won't play any
If you're a
shows with
tourist,
tortoises.
No, locals only.
Locals only, no tours. If you're on tour, we won't play with you. Sorry, it's in the stars. It's not up to us.
It's in the stars.
Okay, next question. What would be your desert island album of choice if you could only listen to one album forever?
I'd probably keep you.
Yeah, because
Realistically.
I already said that earlier. Mine's keep you as well.
Probably that.
what? What do you?
You know, because all
Keep
of
You
my,
by Pianos Become the Tea.
yeah.
Oh.
Or maybe sang by Death Cab for Cutie, but all of my other favorites are like one hit wonders, so it's like I don't want the full album unless it was like a mix, like a summer mix of like 99 of just like the
Could
hot
be.
tracks.
Could be Kids
A
Bop.
loophole. Yeah.
No, not Kids Bop. I don't know. No.
Okay,
Or maybe
so
like
Keep
now
You-
that's
two
what I
Keep
call
Yous.
now that's what I call 99.
Okay,
Summer of 99.
nice. Melissa, you're up. The pressure's on. If you don't say Keep You, you're out of the band.
You could say It's
Well-
About Time by the Jonas Brothers.
Yes. Well, I can't say Keep You because I've never listened to it.
I'm sure
So,
You
we
have in
play
the
it when
car,
you're
but-
asleep. You're
Okay.
asleep in the car and we play it.
Okay, so subconsciously then I'll
You're actually heavily influenced by that album. You just don't know it. It's just subliminal.
Oh, you know what? I know. What the hell is that? Insomniatic Dreams by Ali and AJ. That's what I choose.
Ooh,
Nice.
a banger.
Good answers. Okay, speaking of playing music in the car or the van or whatever vehicle you're taking to a show, who is most likely to control the playlist in the band?
Shane?
So in
Totally
our tour,
Shane.
in our tour van, aka the Kia Optima, usually going to shows, I have like a routine. It's like almost, well, sometimes you can't play the same thing going there as like coming back home. So like sometimes you get a little bit of Britney, you get all the hits, but
Promiscuous Girl.
Promiscuous Girl, the classic
Classic.
Justin Timberlake, there's just like a playlist that just every show, like I have to listen to these songs. It just gets me amped. Like I can't
Avril
perform.
Lavigne.
Yeah, Avril, Evanescence, like Flyleaf. It really
I feel
gets
like
me
we
going.
were when we were like on tour, like up the East Coast, we switched around a little bit more with who's controlling. I feel like I don't remember what I was trying to play, but I don't think you guys liked it. But then I was just like, all you play is like 2000s like R&B. Like what how do you think you can criticize my music?
I think you were playing like Hamilton and like 1800 sea shanties.
Okay, well.
You were
We
ahead
know
of the
that's-
curve, I guess.
We know that you listened to that. Oh wait, yeah, we're look around.
That's right.
Quarantine. Sorry.
Ooh, that was something.
It's the next line.
Stay at home. Stay at home.
All right. It's like a co-writing session here.
Okay, so on the first tour that you do that's in a bus and you have a refrigerator, what would you require be in the refrigerator at all times?
Hummus.
Mm-hmm.
That we can all agree on.
Hummus.
Hummus, Diet Coke. Also, I don't know.
I feel like we'll need like PBR for Kaylee. Like that has to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sparkling water would be nice. Just like always have some
We like
sort.
to stay hydrated.
And spicy water.
Diet
I
Coke
can't think
for
of any
sure.
other food. Just hummus.
Just hummus. What do we eat a lot? I like those spicy sweet Doritos in the purple bag, the vegan
Yeah.
ones. Those are good.
Those don't go in the fridge, but those two.
Those go on top of the mini
The
fridge.
pantry.
Yeah. We need some jelly in there for our PB&Js.
Nice.
Is jelly vegan? Is that a dumb question? Is there gelatin in it? Huh?
I'm gonna say no. No gelatin. I would assume it would be vegan, but of course you never know.
You never know. Tell us in the comments below.
Tell us your favorite
I was gonna
jelly.
die.
Comment here.
I like grape jelly for me.
You already know I like strawberry.
I feel like grape, it just feels more natural for me that a peanut butter sandwich with grape jelly just feels right. And every time I have like strawberry, it just seems wrong. But it's so wrong, maybe it's right.
I can't relate.
This is just
Is that why you
speaking from
moved out,
personal.
Chris?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Shane and I aren't friends anymore because of jelly.
We got in a jam situation.
Oh,
We
wow.
couldn't preserve our
Oh my goodness. That's enough.
differences.
You're about to get the can. Because you can,
Yeah, no,
you
I'm with you. Yeah.
Can of jelly? Well, what is it?
No,
like
you
Thanksgiving?
can to preserve it. You can it, right? All right.
Jar.
I'm
It's-
sorry.
You're being a little
I got it.
jarring right now.
Sorry.
It's gonna be a lot of edits in this.
No
That's all
edit.
staying in. Have you guys talked about any future plans, or are you kind of just waiting as everyone is just waiting to see what's going to happen?
Well, we do plan on recording an EP as soon as we can. We've got songs ready. It's just we have no idea when that will be.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing concrete, but as soon as we can, we will be recording.
I guess you could just say that we're waiting on the world to change.
Roll credits.
Nice. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or bring up or tell to the fans and the clientele that will be viewing this?
Don't
steal.
Don't steal. Doesn't matter what it is. Be good.
Don't steal. Be good.
Invest.
Invest. Oh, I did invest yesterday. Not in
AMC.
Not in AMC because I don't have enough money for that. Wait, what did we just say? Did you
Invest,
just say
AMC.
Did you just say AMC? I did invest in AMC. Yes, that is the one. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's the one I invested in. I know you said that, and I repeated it, but I was thinking GameStop.
You see the sun? It's so bright.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Don't stare at the sun.
That's another one. That's
Rock hard.
Rock hard.
Wait, what was the thing we used to say? Can't remember. It's like play hard, rock harder, or something like that.
Live,
Did you
laugh,
remember that?
love.
Oh, that too. My phone's on 1%, by the way.
Oh.
I think that's the only advice I have for anyone.
All right. Let's call it here. Thank you guys for doing this.
Wear a mask.
Go ahead.
Wear a mask.
Wear a
Wear a
mask.
mask.
Thank you, Jared.
Yes,
Thank you, guys.
This was
Good to
fun.
see you.
Good to see you. I'll let
We
you
should
know when
hang
this
out as
is
friends.
yeah, we could just do this.
You should try that. You want to play D&D with us?
Maybe. It sounds intimidating.
It's fun.
I mean,
Shane, tell the
just
people
joined
what your
in.
character's
If Shane
name
can
is.
do it.
Oh, Davinthian Krollnificent.
Or Dave Kroll for
Kroll.
short.
Yeah. Dave Kroll.
So don't be intimidated. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Definitely. I'll hit you up in the group chat.
DM us.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right. Thank you guys. Talk
Thank
to
you.
soon.
Thank you. Now
Bye.
everyone knows of my troubled past.
From 2
I'll
days
text
ago.
you to see
troubled
how much
present.
you want me to leave in.
Yeah. I'll let you know if I steal anything else.
Right. The
Addendum
epilogue.
at the end of this video.
Yeah, maybe put like, I'm sorry, Walmart. I'm sorry, upstairs neighbor.
Afterword by Shane O'Brien.
I'll credit them in my new song, Quarantine.
Quarantine parenthesis, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
I love you
All right.
guys.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.